Well, hello, everyone. How are you today? And welcome to this time of hour where we're going to have a little bit of chit chat. For those who don't know me, my name is Reverend Dr. Antonio Arnold, and I am so excited that you are here today. I'm so excited that, and just wanted to take this opportunity, if you just bear with me for a minute, to chat with you about another book. And let me see, I just want to make sure all systems are go. And it appears all systems are go. Everything looks good. Let me see, my sound's good. Let's see, hold up. Good. Sounds good. The sound is very good. There's no echo here. But as you can tell, I do need equipment with a microphone. I'm gonna get one of those microphones to come on like here, like they do on blogs. But I need to do that. I've been doing this for over 20 years, and I never thought about purchasing a big giant mic. If you can hear me, you understand me. But I think I'll go ahead and do that. So anyway, guys, I want to talk to you. I'm the guy who has written The Fall of Satan, and I'm also the guy who has written The Art of Filing for Veterans Disability Benefits, because there is an art to it. And I have helped numerous of veterans, and this book right here is one of my top sellers, especially on the ebook side. A lot of people want to know about that Fall of Satan. But I have written over 50 books. I'm an author. I'm also a technician. I used to work for the Department of Information and Technology. And once upon a time, when there was Windows 95 or Windows, that was a long time ago. But back in 96, 97, something like that. Served 22 years in the military between the Army and Air Force. Civil engineer, combat engineer, of course, through MOS. Infantry, been an infantry officer and infantry NCO. Civil affairs as well. I've done quite a few things. You see quartermaster on here. I'm also airborne qualified. Been shared, done more than just 5 jumps. I'm going to tell you that right now. But I just want to take this time and chat with you and on the technological side. We can talk all day. I got plenty of content to talk about on the theological side. And many of you look on my Pastor Arnold's channel on YouTube. You'll see I have a lot of content when it comes to theological and morality of my belief when it comes to the God's Word. You'll see a lot of my preaching there as well. So it's high time I talk to you from a technical point of view, especially when it comes to topics that says in regards to cryptocurrency, cryptography, cryptographics, and smart contracts, to name a few. I'm also the author of the Entrepreneurial Personal Brand Crafting a Magnetic Presence in the Marketplace. Many of you are struggling in the marketplace. We're living in an age that people are doing more and more e-commerce. I remember back in the 90s when e-commerce first came out as far as the World Wide Web, where American Online was the source to connect you to the World Wide Web, was a big deal. You know, you had to plug it to your phone jack and the internet, and hopefully somebody will not call and interrupt your connection. But that's what it's all about. You want to make a magnetic presence to either present yourself as a product or to present a product. So if you want to know more about that, look at my previous video on YouTube or Facebook. You're welcome to do that. Today, I want to talk about demystifying the smart contract, what every business owner should know. An early form of cryptography or cryptographics, electronics payments. This is the 2025 world that we lived in. And I wrote a book about it, took a course through Cornell University, learned a lot. And those who don't know, I was an electronics major too. And I also hold a master's. But anyway, I just want to share with you what I come to understand, that this is what you need to know if you're looking to take your business to the next level, okay? And I'm talking to these businesses, like corporate business, that are utilizing this technology each and every day. So I wrote this book, Demystifying Smart Contract, where every business owner should know an early form of cryptography, electronic payments, because everything that's paid was used to be ACH. It is now moving towards cryptography. It's moving toward the blockchain. All right? In a rapid evolving world of technology, guys, understanding the foundation elements of blockchain and smart contracts is no longer optional for business leaders. I want y'all to hear me say this again, guys. It's no longer optional for business leaders. It's essential. Demystifying smart contract, what every business owner should know, by yours truly, which is also available on Amazon. Myself, as a graduate from Cornell and certified in a course in blockchain essentials, digital marketing, artificial intelligence, I bring also over 20 years of experience in the digital marketing platform. I utilized the digital marketing platform extensively, even prior to attending graduate level training through Cornell and my electronic background and self-taught. But guys, I have a lot of background in this thing. I just want to tell you that. I'm utilizing what I come to understand, what I have learned to share with you. And I want to share with you this information through this book. Okay. Now I have books of the same title, like 3 other books with different color, with a different front cover on it. Why is that? Because that's because I'm reaching out to international markets as well. So throughout this book, my goal is to bridge the knowledge, the gap, shedding light on the advantage and disadvantage of implementation smart contracts, okay? Smart contract in the business operations, with a clear focus on how artificial intelligence and technology can enhance these processes. I'm also going to provide practical insight through the book for both entrepreneurs and seasonal business managers, okay? Whether you're looking for a streamlined transaction efficiency, and that's what everybody's looking for. Everybody's looking for efficiency in the workplace. And plus enhance in security, build trust, confidence among consumer and investors. This book offers a comprehensive guide. Of course, my goal is to empower business owners and individual consumers with the tools and knowledge needed to leverage smart contract and, of course, the technology effectively, ethically within the blockchain ecosystem. And can I get a witness? How y'all like my shirt? This is also in the blockchain. It's called Bitcoin. Every coin, digital currency, is in the blockchain. And that'll be another story. So let's go about this book. Let's go here. I wrote this book for a number of reasons. First of all, what this book covers, and I have the table of content in front of me, it talks about the smart contract. What's this book all about? It talks about a smart contract. And the thing is, you want to identify, do you need a smart contract? If you are a business owner and you own the brand, and I'm not talking about digital network marketing. Network marketing, no. Unless you are the owner, the quote-unquote owner of the network marketing entity, okay, not the associates. If you own these as entities, then you definitely want to hear what I have to say when it comes to doing a smart contract. Do you have a need for it, okay? Also, what is smart contract? A lot of people don't have no clue what a smart contract is. I have conversations with individuals, and they have no clue what I'm talking about, okay? Smart contracts are everywhere. It's in everything we use, everything we need. I mean, you purchase a house, you're utilizing smart contract. You're doing any type of digital transaction, you're utilizing smart contract. You can learn about 3 key principles and properties of the smart contract through this book. You're going to, for example, and then you can also learn The examples of smart contracts in business. That's chapter 6. You're going to learn what are smart contracts correct. I want to reach out to people who know, understand what I'm talking about. Do you know what it means by smart contract is correct? If you ever heard that term, somebody knows something about blockchain, somebody understands something about smart contract. Number 9, chapter 9, talks about trusting smart contract, not business. Trusting smart contract, not business. It's a very interesting read. Now, chapter 10 goes into detail by exploring examples of smart contract. Chapter 11 talks about executing smart contract on Ethereum blockchain. Now, how many of you guys own some Ethereums? I own some Ethereum, but Ethereum also is a very important part of the blockchain. It connects those blocks so you can do transactions in a secure environment through the blockchain. Okay? So you want to know how to execute smart contract within what? On the Ethereum blockchain. There's nowhere else you can do it securely. Your crypto or your cryptocurrency, namely Bitcoin, is transacted through the Ethereum blockchain. Isn't that funny? I know. It's a lot of information. Okay, you can learn about smart contract and Tether, USDT. A lot of times when I was in another business, you have to purchase USDT in order to get involved. All right. Now, USDT is the same level as the dollar bill. It doesn't go up. It doesn't go down. It's connected as the U.S. dollar. It is the U.S. digital U.S. dollar, USDT. USDT, which is Tether. Tether. You'll learn about that. That's on chapter 12. I want you to read that. I want you to understand what Tether is. How is that impacted? How is that important in the cryptocurrency, the blockchain, as we know it, and why the U.S. dollar is is connected to it, and why is that important? You'll read that, find that out in this book too. So, here's chapter 13, exploring simple smart contract. 14 talks about smart contract benefits. There are benefits to smart contract, and also you're going to learn about, of course, my conclusion and future outlooks when it comes to smart contract. And you'd be amazed, guys, the companies out there that utilize smart contracts every day. You know, and a lot of times you're using it right now. So let's go dive into the smart contract and defining smart contract. What is it? How does it benefit you? What can you do with it? Well, first of all, I'm just going to read just a little bit from chapter 1, introduction to the smart contract. Okay, for all our technology individuals. Smart contracts are self-executing contracts with the term of an agreement directly written into codes. This code is stored on a blockchain, which is decentralized digital ledger that maintains a secure and transparent record of transactions. Smart contract automates and enforce execution of agreements without the need for intermediaries, reduce the potential of dispute, and enhance efficiency. That's all we want, is more efficiency. And that's what's this whole thing with AI and blockchain and cryptocurrency and cryptography. It's all about enhancing efficiency for your business. They are designed to operate in a trustless environment, meaning that participants do not need to know or trust each other. I don't need to know you to do business with you or to do transactions with you. I don't even need to trust you. They simply rely on underlying codes and blockchain integrity. The functionality of the smart contract is made possible through programmable codes that define the rules and conditions of the agreement. It's an agreement, guys. One agreement and then one block is connected to another agreement. It is all have each one has a key. Once the predetermined conditions are met, the smart contract automatically executes an agreed upon action, such as transferring assets or issuing payments. Additionally, the transparency of blockchain assures that all parties are verified the term and the execution of the contract, promoting accountability, trust among participants. Now you can read the rest if you desire, but let's look at a little history of this. The emergence of the history of the blockchain technology goes back to the early 2000s, providing that necessary infrastructure to bring a Zobo vision to life. Take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin was introduced in 2009. It just demonstrates the potential of decentralized ledger system. I want you to listen, pay attention with that. I want you to write that down. Decentralized ledger system. That's important that you understand what that means. In paving the way for a more complex application, including smart contract. I mean, when Bitcoin first came out, of course it was worth a couple pennies and then moved to 60 cents to dollars, $10, thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and then back down to $90,000 if I may. But within that time, there were some insecurities within that blockchain. People were able to hack into it. People were able to steal coins, the digital currency, from the owner. People were able to manipulate and commit crime. And this book covers that as detail as well. But I just want to give you an insight about this decentralized ledger system. And it has to pave a way to a more complex application, which is smart contract. It is much needed. If you want a more secure transaction, smart contract is the way to go. Okay? Now, Ethereum launched in 2015. You remember the Ethereum coins? The little triangle here, triangle on the bottom? Now, Ethereum, and I'm wearing Bitcoin now, but Ethereum also launched in 2015, which is approximately 7 years later. It played a pivotal role in this evolution by allowing developers to create decentralized applications that could utilize smart contracts. This innovation transformed the landscape of business transactions, enabled automatic execution of agreement based on predefined conditions, thus reducing the reliance on traditional ledgers work framework. You want to initiate things when it comes to blockchain. You don't have to trust, like I said, you don't have to trust the individual that you're doing transactions. You don't have to trust them, you don't have to know them. But let's talk about trust. Trust. One of the primary advantages of the smart contract in modern business is their ability to enhance trust between parties. In a typical business transaction, trust is often reliant on intermediaries, such as a lawyer or banks, which can introduce delay and add an additional cost to you. What smart contract does, it eliminates the need for an intermediary by ensuring that the contract terms are executed automatically once predefined conditions are met. Let me read that again. Smart contract eliminates the need for intermediaries. And I'm talking about like lawyers, the guys in the middle. We don't need a middleman. You don't need a lawyer in this case. You don't need a bank. You don't need a bank. And it cuts down on the additional unnecessary cost. And ensures that the contract terms are executed automatically once predefined conditions are met. This not only streamlines the process, but also foster a direct relationship between parties. Businesses can engage with one another with increased confidence, knowing that the terms of the agreements are enforced transparently and reliable through blockchain technology. Guys, you need to get into this thing. You need to learn about this thing. It is the wave of the present future. If you don't, as a business owner, if you're looking to attend college and get into a career, and you have no clue about the blockchain space, you're going to be left behind. You will be left behind. So let's talk about business needing smart contract. That's where you find that in chapter 2. I'm just going to hit just a little bit. One of the primary factors to consider whether the business engaged in repetitive transaction that could benefit from automation. Smart contracts are particularly effective in environments where agreements are frequently executed with minimal variation. For example, businesses involved in the supply chain management can use smart contract to automate the tracking of goods, release of payment upon fulfillment of the specific conditions. By evaluating the nature of business transactions, owners can ascertain if the smart contract will streamline operation and enhance efficiency. Let me tell you something. Let me share something with you. Did you know that Amazon uses smart contract? Do you know that UPS uses smart contract? So does the U.S. Postal Service. And the reasons for that, they want to track the product that's being shipped. The product has already been manufactured, sent back from the manufacturer to the distributor, which is Amazon. Okay, it is tracked from that point on, from start to delivery. Okay, and nobody gets paid. Here I'm saying, until that product is received. Once that product is received to its destination and it is confirmed that that product has been delivered, then the process of paying the shipper, that business receives a direct deposit through the blockchain, and they receive payment. Again, payment is not going to be received unless it is confirmed through the blockchain that that product or service has been rendered. Okay? And that's one of the reasons businesses could benefit from this. It brings a better efficiency to doing transaction, to doing business, and to ensure security. Once all the requirements are fulfilled and I'm speaking in this one form, then of course that payment for that owner for the product that's being delivered, the product is then paid. In addition to evaluation transaction type, businesses should assess their need for enhanced security and trust. Remember, I read to you a little bit about trust. Okay, smart contract operate on a blockchain technology, just like Bitcoin and Ethereum. All right, inherently providing transparent, tamper-proof environment. Organization that deals with sensitive consumer data or high-value transaction may find that the smart contract offers a safer alternative. Data or high-value transaction may find, of course, offer alternative than traditional contract method. By shifting to a system where the trust is built into the technology rather than solely on the parties involved, businesses can mitigate the risk associated with fraud and error, which can be a benefit to this consumer. Because when businesses have risk is cost less, and the risk to the business is less, then there's a less chance of a higher price to the client being passed on to the client. Because anytime there's theft, fraud that happens in business, they pass on the cost of the loss to the consumer. Did you know that? So if you wonder why prices goes up, or if you wonder why, like this smash and grab that you see so much on the news all the time, You know, businesses either have two things they're going to do. Either going to shut down the doors and put you out in the street, and that means you don't have a job, or they're going to raise prices because you and pass that cost to the consumer. Why? Because the cost of operation is more risk, at a higher risk. And that's business. Errors occur too. I mean, sometimes you may be waiting on a product to be shipped to you, and they shipped you the wrong product. Have you ever had that happen to you? Of course it did. But this, through the blockchain, it reduced those risk of errors. Furthermore, it is essential to consider the scalability of smart contracts in relation to business growth. Companies that anticipate expansion should evaluate whether smart contract can scale alongside their operation. That include understanding the technical requirements for deploying smart contract on platforms like Ethereum, ensuring that this chosen solution can be accommodate increased transaction volume, complexity over time. Additionally, business must consider the integration of smart contract with existing system to maintain operational continuity. What? We want to maintain continuity in the industry, guys. No matter what your industry, you want to maintain continuity. You want to be consistent in everything that goes on from start to finish. So let's talk about smart contract investments. The role of investments and strategies. I'm just going to touch on just a little bit and I'm going to move on. The role of a smart contract. And I want y'all to look up smart contract. You could Google smart contract if you don't understand. Maybe I'm moving too fast. But I'm moving this back because I want you to get the book. The role of the smart contract in investment strategies is becoming increasingly significant as business and investors seek to optimize transaction, enhance security, improve efficiency. Smart contracts, which are self-executing contracts with the term of the agreement directly written into code. You know cryptocurrency is written in codes. Do you know cryptography is in code? Did you know that first cryptographic started with is a code with the Romans? I had to learn how to write up a bunch of codes. And you write, let's say you write a letter. I know inmates do this all the time. You can write a letter that's encrypted, okay? And you have someone who's who can interpret those messages. It may say the role of a smart contract, but those are in code that means something else. It's secure. Now, once you learn how to decrypt those encryptions, then you know what they're saying. That's what happened in World War II. When the Japanese and the Germans had an encrypted code device, when the United States learned of this and was able to break those codes, anytime they say on secure message is tap, and the United States understand what's going on. And they know where they're going. They know where their ships are going. They know where their fleets are going. They know where their troops are going. And that way they can do a counteraction to that. And that's because of encryption can be decrypted. And that's one of the beautiful things about smart contract. It makes it hard for you to decrypt it. Okay? So, what are the advantages? One of the primary advantages of incorporating smart contract into an investment strategy, and I may have read this early, is the ability to enhance transparency and trust. We need to have a platform where trust is well, I can't even think of the name, but anyway, we want to have more trust tools that we can trust, or we want to do transactions and feel that we can do these transactions without the fear of fraud. Okay, if that makes sense. So when smart contracts is deployed on a blockchain, all parties involved, that's me, you, me, corporation here, corporation there, involved can view, verify the term of the contract, because ain't nothing going to happen unless that terms of their contract is agreed, ensuring that there are no hidden clause or manipulation. That's a beautiful thing. The level of visibility is particularly beneficial in investment scenarios where trust is paramount. Investors can have confidence that their assets can be managed according to an agreed upon terms, whereby reducing the perceived risk associated with transaction. So, moreover, a smart contract can facilitate complex investments arrangements such as multi-signature agreement or decentralized finance. Anytime you're dealing with digital transactions, especially when you're dealing with more than one party, you have to deal with multi-signature agreements. And then you have to deal also or decentralized finance. Decentralized finance is here to stay, guys. Decentralized finance is not going anywhere. And I wanted to be one of the few in this community to share that. Because so many people don't understand or have any type of background or knowledge about decentralized finance. But yet, here we are. I'm not going to go over that. I'm not going to do that. I want you to get the book. So how does smart contract work? How does smart contract work? Smart contract, again, is self-executing agreement. It's just like you sell a house, you need a salesperson, you're selling your house, and you have to agree to a price with the person who's looking to purchase your home, and you say you're selling your home for $680,000. The buyer may want to buy it for $500,000, and unless there's an agreement there, the house is not going to be sold at any price because there has to be an agreement. What the blockchain does is self-executing agreement between parties as long as there's a certain parameters that is met. So, you execute an agreement with the terms of the contract, so you got to have terms, directly written into the line of code. They operate in the blockchain technology, allowing for decentralized execution without the need of an intermediary, like a lawyer, a judge, or a bank, or a person who got a financial background. You don't need a financial advisor at this point. Okay? So when certain predetermined defined conditions are met, the smart contract automatically enforces the term. It automatically enforces the term, ensuring that all parties adhere to the agreement. This automated process minimizes the risk of human errors, increase efficiency, making smart contract an attractive option for businesses across various sectors. And I'm here to tell you, that's a lot of your Fortune 500 companies right now are using smart contract. I had to do a research paper and looked up each one, and I was shocked to find that there's the number of smart contract utilized through these corporation bodies. My favorite, BMW, for one. I have no idea that BMW was utilizing smart contract. You're going to be shocked, some of you who drive Chevy products, Chevy utilize smart contracts. I'm talking about General Motors. So don't be surprised or disappointed or saying that this is not happening, this is fake, this is not true. It is true. It is true. Hey, hon, can you take this phone call for me? It's everywhere. Yeah. So the smart contract, you'd be amazed by the number of smart contracts that's out there right now. So you definitely want to get yourself in position. Now, if some of you you can hold on to that. If some of you look at it, excuse me for a second. May want to go into computer software development. You want to major in computer software. Hey, add blockchain. Study artificial intelligence. Add as like, okay, my major is not information technology then, but it was electronics engineering. I build brains. And let's say my minor is military science. So you go into computer science, right? With your major is computer science with blockchain essentials or blockchain or cryptocurrency, if I may, and your minor is artificial intelligence. You may want to develop softwares within AI that will work within those smart contracts. Or you want to focus on, hey, I want to understand smart contract and how I can be a smart contract in management. How can I use this for a company I'm looking to work for? So you look at the colleges and universities that's offering these courses, and you talk to the council, say, how can I best leverage these courses will help me? How will they help me reach my goals and dreams within this technology? Because it's here to stay, guys. It's really here to stay. It's not going anywhere. Institutions are turning to tools that is trustworthy and secured. Because millions of dollars have been stolen due to the fact there were tools out there, like particularly ACH is vulnerable. Because fraud, hackers have hacked into the system and transferred millions of dollars. You'd be amazed how much billions of dollars have been lost because there's very little security or ways to fight fraud and manipulation. I love smart contract. When I was in taking this course, I was really excited because I learned so much, and I wanted to utilize it as a tool. And I was in with this company that was growing, and I did a study on it, and I passed on to the company leaders too, as a proposal, and perhaps it's something you want to look into. But there's you'd be amazed at where a lot of corporations and on the corporate level that's really taking steps to introduce and initiate these contracts. Let's see, 3 properties. I'm not going to talk about that. Transparency, we already spoke about trust. But let's talk about supply chain management. Let's talk about particularly real estate. How many of you are in real estate? In real estate transaction, let's talk about that through this book. I'm not going to cover, like I said, I'm not going to cover every detail because I want you to buy the book. Real estate transaction, I want you to just plant some seed in your mind. Real estate transactions have traditionally been complex process involving multi-parties, extensive paperwork, and significant time delay. Remember, it takes 45 days to close, from start to finish, to close a house. And there's like 45 days before the first bill is mailed to you, which is a great deal. I like to wait 45 days before I make my first payment. But the paperwork, just from start to finish, I like this house, I want to buy it. You put it into paperwork. You got to get the house appraised. Then you got to get the house inspected for termite inspection. And then you got to go to lawyers, and you got to get, you got to have title insurance. You got to make sure you have a title attorney. You got to make sure all that stuff happens. That takes time, and that also can lead to delay. When I first closed on this house, there was a delay. Instead of closing on Friday, because I'm moving out on Friday, my house is sold on Friday. I got to be out of there by Friday. But unfortunately, because of delays, I won't be able to close till Monday. So I had to ask for permission to stay at the home that I sold, which gives me a little bit more time, so I can move into my new home, which is supposed to happen to do the paperwork. I had to wait till Monday. So I'm here to tell you guys, it is complex, and it can be some significant loss of time. But with the smart contract, the integration of smart contract into this arena has the potential to streamline these transactions significantly. Smart contracts are self-executing contract with the term of an agreement directly written into a code. The code enabled them to automate various process involved in real estate deals. Whether you're buying a residential home, a commercial property, or a residential property that you can use for leveraging. This automation can reduce the need for intermediaries. Intermediaries, with like a lawyer. Through this process with the smart contract, you don't need an attorney. You really don't. You won't. You won't need a bank. Transaction money here to here. It doesn't go through ACH, but you had to go through a number of banks. That's not going to happen. And if you're in real estate, I want you to take a look and confirm what I just shared with you. But you will not need an intermediary, such as a broker or a lawyer. You don't need you don't need a broker. Thereby minimizing cost, expedition of transaction, while enhancing transparency and security. You know that deal's locked and safe right off the bat. You don't have to worry about title espionage. Somebody stealing your title. That means stealing your home. You don't have to worry about that. Everything is secure within that block. So let's take a look at benefits. One of the primary benefits of utilizing smart contracts in real estate transaction is the enhancement of trust. Again, we're dealing with trust here among parties involved. In traditional transaction, trust is often built through establishing a relationship. Here, I don't have to know you to buy property. Or third-party verification. We don't have to do that. However, with smart contract, trust is placed in the underlying blockchain technology. So it's in there, which ensures that all parties can verify the contract, terms, and execution without relying on the central authority. Each transaction is recorded in a public ledger, making it nearly impossible to alter past agreement. Now, here's the thing: a lot of people don't know. If a smart contract was agreed and done, and you say, "Well, I changed my mind. I want to go ahead and alter this agreement," you cannot alter it. What was done is done. You cannot make change. You cannot alter the agreement within the blockchain. Once it's locked in, and all parties agree to the terms of the contract, automatically, there's no such thing as going back and redoing it. There's no such thing as saying, "Oh, I changed my mind." You locked in. "Oh, I want to add these other demands in here." No, you can't do that. It's so true. So, smart contracts, and in my opinion, from what I've been learned so far, a long time ago, can mitigate risks associated with real estate transactions, such as fraud and misrepresentation. I'm going to stop right there. Financial services are undergoing a profound transformation due to the integration of smart contracts. Those of you who are in the industry of financial services, this will affect you. Due to the integration of smart contracts, which offer businesses and consumers unprecedented efficiency and security. At their core, smart contracts are self-executing. They don't need your help. Self-executing agreements with the terms and agreement directly written into codes. This innovative technology eliminates the need for, again, the middleman or middlewoman, reducing costs and speeding up transaction times. For investors like myself and business alike, the ability to automate contractual obligations presents a significant opportunity to streamline operations and minimize potential of human error or fraud. And I know this is not making sense, but it makes sense to a lot of people who understand transaction. If you're in the business of transaction, or you're looking to get into the business of transaction, then you understand. You follow me. I know you follow me. if you're in just want to get started into it, then you need to get this book, read it, have a clear understanding before you get involved with this kind of industry. Because the world has changed. This has been 3 years deep for me. That's why I wear this shirt every now and then. The world has changed, and it's going to continue to evolve. It's going to continue. Now, what else I want to talk about? I don't see any comments so far, so I guess I'm making progress. I mean, in smart contract, everything is tested and verified. Has anybody ever heard of General Data Protection Regulation? GDPR. I want y'all to look that up. General Data Protection Regulation. I'm not going to talk about that. Go to the book. Go to the book. Crime prevention and smart contract, fraud reduction. Fraud, let's talk about fraud reduction. Again, streamlined, it's efficient, it's protection. Definitely a defense against fraud. Fraud reduction is one of the most compelling advantages offered by a smart contract in today's digital landscape. Traditional contract processes are often vulnerable to manipulation and deceit, primarily due to their reliance on intermediaries, being people in the middle. And not everybody's honest. Not everybody's honest. They got a license, doesn't make them honest. Right? You got a few frauds out there. And the potential for human error, there's always a potential for human error. So smart contract builds on the blockchain technology, which is cryptocurrency, which is in the cryptograph area. So on the smart, it's in the blockchain, as we understand, like Ethereum. It eliminates many of these risks. It automating and enforcing agreements through codes. Those codes are essential. It's just like you have, some of you have Bitcoin, okay? And you have what is called a cold wallet, okay? You got a hot wallet and a cold wallet. In the cold wallet, that's where you store your Bitcoin, okay? And you have to put in a code to have access to it. And if you lose that code, or if you use that wallet, then you're just out of luck, man. And right now, each coin of the Bitcoin is over 90,000. Okay, I buy coins myself. I got one particular coin that I'm got mining right now. That at $3 went from 50 cents to over $3, and now it's holding at $2. Okay, that's my watch binging. Time to take. All right, 5. My time's almost up. But you want to have a blockchain, a smart contract that is secure. Under traditional methods of processing, you're vulnerable to manipulation and deceit, of course. You're dealing with a middle person. You have the potential of human errors. Smart contract built on blockchain technology, and I keep saying blockchain technology, eliminates many of these risks. Automating, enforcing agreement through codes, the automation ensures that once the condition of the contracts are met, the execution is carried out without the possibility of interference, significantly reducing the opportunity for fraud. There was a lot of fraud when this first came out. People were stealing this thing left and right. Not anymore. Not anymore. Hot wallet or cold wallet doesn't make a difference. It's totally secure now. So, and in the industry that I'm in, I have my own mining, and I have my own wallet that is secure. So you definitely want to make sure that your assets or your investment is totally secure within the blockchain. That's all I'm saying. Definitely want to enhance security. And regulatory compliance in the realm of smart contract is also critical consideration of business looking to leverage this technology. And there's a lot of businesses that are doing it. There was a business that just got started, and I'll talk about that later, that's involved, that has created this. This was created by the individual I'm working with right now. So as smart contract operates ultimately on blockchain platform, They present a unique challenge in aligning with existing regulatory framework. I remember a few years ago, the what's that thing? Central? No. SEC, Security Exchange Commission, was hammering all sorts of blockchains uh, assets, whether it be Bitcoin. If you buy it from any source, your Bitcoin, or going to the website, I mean, it was. Security Exchange Commission was not playing around because there was so much fraud in regards to Bitcoin. In regards to Bitcoin, there was a lot of fraud out there. Okay, a lot of people got manipulated. A lot of people got handed. Yeah, I even got handed. But things have changed. Things have changed. Everything's compliant now. Everything has to be in compliance to even operate here. All right. So you want to make sure the technology company that you're dealing with is legitimate and Securities Exchange Commission friendly, and there's no major. And you want to make sure your stuff, cold water or hot wallet, is secured. As smart contract operate autonomously on blockchain platform, they present unique challenges and align to existing regulatory framework. And this was written 3 years ago. Business must navigate the complex landscape where laws governing data security, like the Security Exchange Commission, financial transaction, consumer protection, interacts with the innovative capabilities of smart contract. Understanding the regulatory environment is essential, guys, for mitigating risk and ensuring that smart contract fulfill legal obligations while providing the intended benefit. I believe the company in which I am working with now has fulfill those requirements, other than it wouldn't be here. It wouldn't be here at all. And it's huge. You go to any airport, you'll see his name everywhere. You'll see his name everywhere. Go to any airport. And I'm going to say his name later on, and I want you to Google it. All right? And I believe in diversification, guys. I really do. One primary regulatory concern surrounding smart contract related to jurisdiction. Since blockchain operate on a global scale, which it does, determining which law applies can be challenging. That's true. What law require in Uganda, well, it's different what the laws apply to Germany. What laws apply from Germany may be different what the laws applies to Japan. And what the laws applies to Japan is different, could be different with laws apply to the United States. You want to keep that in mind too. Business must consider the regulatory various jurisdictions where they operate and where their consumer resides. This includes compliance with anti-money laundering and know your customers. You ever heard of that word, know your customers? You ever see the acronym called KYC? That's one of my assignments. I had to write, know your customers. I had to write in such a way, and I had to learn understand what it means. Know your customer. Know your customer regulations, which are crucial for maintaining the integrity of the financial transaction. Know your customers. Furthermore, businesses must ensure that their smart contracts are designed to accommodate their legal requirements, which may necessitate the integration of identity verification mechanism or transaction monitoring system. And that's why a lot of times when you go into these platforms, they demand that you take a picture of your driver's license front and back. Why? Because you're dealing with digital assets. They want to verify that is who you are, that you say you are. And it's going to be tougher down the road. It's going to be more stringent nowadays because of the level of fraud in the digital realm. So definitely keep that in mind. Consumer protection regulation also play a vital role in compliance landscape for smart contract. Business need to be aware of the potential risks associated with automated transaction, such as errors in contract execution or unforeseen outcomes, ensuring that consumers are adequately informed about the terms and conditions of the smart contract. And I also want to add that to it. It is your fiduciary responsibility as a consumer or investor or business owner to read the details. Read the detail before executing. Now, what I missed right here? Clear communication, guys, and the ability for consumers to seek recourse and the relevance of disputes are critical aspects that must be engaged with the design of the smart contract. That's a must. Here's another one that you may not hear all the time, but I'm going to read it anyway. We're talking about successful implementation. Successful implementation. I'm going to read this one paragraph right here. In financial services industry, smart contracts have revolutionized the way transactions are executed. That's a true story. For instance, DeFi, which means I just lost it. What is that word? What is that? We're gonna deregulate, not deregulate, decentralized finance. There we go. Decentralized finance. capital FI. If somebody would type that in there, it stands for decentralized finances. That's the world we live in. We live in we're becoming decentralized. It's not the mark of the beast, guys. It's not the mark of the beast. The decentralized financial platform leverage smart contract to automate lending and borrowing process without the need for a middle person. Okay, if you notice, if you go to Cash App, you can get a small loan. Did you know that? You can get a small loan without going to your bank. You fill out the paperwork on Cash App, and they will instantly put whatever money, the certain amount that you can use, maybe $500 or $250. I can't remember what it was, but they will lend you the money, but no questions asked, and it's up to you, your responsibility to pay it back. But there's no middleman. By using Ethereum-based smart contracts, investors can engage to what is called peer-to-peer lending, okay, where the terms are automatically enforced and funds are securely managed. This innovation has not only reduced transaction costs but also democratized access to financial services, allowing a broader range of individuals and businesses to participate in investment opportunity. A lot of you don't even know about it. And it's right here. Right here. Peer-to-peer. We're living in a decentralized financial world. And within the decentralized financial world, you can also have what's called decentralized application, or DApp. D-E-D capital A-P-P-S. Decentralized application, and that runs on peer-to-peer network. The company that I'm using my money to invest in is based off peer-to-peer networks. Each transaction or smart contract execution is recorded on the blockchain, ensuring that all parties have access to the same information and eliminating the possibility of fraud. I think that's a good thing, guys. The transparency is particularly appealing to businesses seeking to enhance consumer safety and privacy. Don't you want your privacy secured? Yes, we do. By utilizing Ethereum infrastructure, companies can streamline operation, reduce costs, mitigate risk associated with the traditional contractual agreement. And that's exciting. I like that. Benefits of Ethereum, using Ethereum. Remember, the adoption of Ethereum has brought significant advantages to various stakeholders in the business ecosystem. One of the most notable benefits is the ability to utilize smart contracts, which are self-executing contracts with the terms and agreement directly written into codes. These automatic agreements eliminate the needs for intermediaries. That means middle person, okay? Banks, financial advisors, that sort of thing. Reductions in lawyers. Reduction transaction costs, expediting process, which means it's faster. You get faster turnover results, okay? As a result, businesses can streamline operation, improve efficiency, allocate resources more effectively. For investors, this means lower overhead costs and potentially higher returns of investments due to the reduced administrative cost or burden. That's what I like about Ethereum. But don't forget, don't underestimate Ethereum. Don't underestimate Tether, USDT, smart contract and Tether. And when it comes to understanding Tether, which is a cryptocurrency that is within the blockchain, that is used within Ethereum to blockchain to do transaction. Let's understand something about Tether. Understanding Tether is essential for grasping the broader implication of smart contract. In blockchain ecosystem, Tether is commonly known as a symbol United States digital Tether. Okay? And this type of stable coin is designed to maintain a stable value. That's what I said. It doesn't go up, doesn't go down. It goes based on the value of the dollar. So one Tether is equal to $1, American dollar. Keep that in mind. It maintains the stability value by pegging into a finite currency. Typically, again, the US dollars, just like I said earlier. This stability makes Tether an attractive option for investors and business looking to navigate the often volatile cryptocurrency market. Remember, one day, I remember when Bitcoin was $60,000. And then about 4 months later, it dropped down to $18,000, which I took advantage of that. Had no idea it was going to bounce back up. And then next thing I know, it's worth $100,000 a coin. And now it's about $90,000 a coin. Maybe potentially $80,000 a coin, dollars a coin. But now I'm being told in the market, in my circle, this thing had the potential to become $200,000 per coin. So you want to keep an eye on that. Some people, you might want to play the game, or you may just want to cash out and quit and take your losses and go about your business, or pay off your debts while it's high. But it is volatile. It's a volatile cryptocurrency. So by linking its value to a traditional currency, and I'm talking about Tether, USDT, Tether offers a layer of security. It really does. Enable users to transact without the fear of significant price fluctuation that are common with other cryptocurrency. Hey guys, I'm going to cut it out right now, but I'll come back later on and discuss a little bit more about this book called The Demystifying Smart Contract. Hey guys, smart contract, what every business owner should know. I will come back and go in a little bit more detail how companies are using it and how they could benefit build business owners in the near future. In the meantime, guys, you all have a good day. God bless you. This is Antonio Arnold, a.k.a. Beast Mode, signing off. Airborne out. Say hi, everybody.